Oh.
Hello everybody, Ragtag Sagby here. Welcome to the next episode. In the last episode, we explored the monastery, including a few new areas. In this episode, we're primarily going to be doing supports. We'll see if we have any time for anything else, but this is primarily going to be a support episode. So let's go around and see what supports we have.
Professor.
Let's see what Caspar has to say.
Hey, Professor, what's going on?
There's a suspicious man.
A suspicious man? Where? Oh, is that him? What do you think he's up to? Never mind that. Let's get him.
Let's keep watch for now.
Keep watch? It's so boring. My instincts tell me that he's up to no good, and my instincts are never wrong. Come on, let's get him before he has a chance to strike.
Let me see. That path he was walking leads to...
Huh? Huh! It leads to the plaza where the kids play. There's no way I'm letting this guy get anywhere near those kids.
Caspar, why did you disobey your professor?
Well,
I am not seeking excuses from you. I asked because I want you to consider your actions and apologize for them. It just so happens that you were correct in your assumption that this man was a villain. If that were not so, he would not have chosen to take his own life upon seeing you advancing toward him.
Great. So I was...
But, because of your actions, that is all we know. There is no way for us to know who he was, what he was planning to do, or if he has allies lurking about. The only lead we have is a scorpion tattooed on his arm. If this indicates that he was a member of an underground organization, we have no way of dealing with it. Are you prepared to be held responsible if his group commits a serious crime?
It was my fault for failing to stop him.
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
What are you talking about, Professor? We didn't do anything wrong. Those kids might have been in danger if we didn't act. I couldn't just stand by and let that happen.
You know, have a see with him. Fast travel to my personal quarters. Let's go visit Dorothea.
Well, I had fun today. Of course. You want to see me again, yes?
Of course. I'd love to, Dorothea.
Well, until we meet again. Oh, hello, Professor. Were you watching that?
That's a different guy than I saw you with yesterday.
Yes. Is there a problem with that? Look, I know what I'm doing. My claim as a diva won't last forever, after all. I must look to the future. As a man, you may not feel so rushed about these things, but I know my beauty will eventually fade.
We all feel anxiety about aging.
You? Really? I never would have guessed. Anyway, I'm not just playing games with these boys. This is for my future. You have no right to object. I very much want to find a good partner here at the Academy. Someone who will take care of me for the rest of my life.
Is that what you really want?
Finding someone to take care of me? Of course it is. Who could ask for anything more? Anyway, I value your opinion, Professor, but I won't have you interfering with my life plans. Unless you'd like to take care of me into my old age. That'd be something, eh? How about it, Professor?
Okay.
I wasn't... You aren't being serious, are you? I was just teasing. Or did you really just consider spending your whole life with me? If you did, that actually makes me... It makes me happy. I had no idea you might look at me that way. You've gotten awfully quiet. You might even be blushing a bit. Have I embarrassed you? If so, I'm very, very sorry. I should be going anyway. I'll see you later, Professor.
She's now a C. Go to the fishing hole because there's a support conversation there. Let's go see how Ignaz is doing.
Okay, I've decided on the composition.
Composition?
That's right, the composition for my next paint. Wait, Professor? How long have you been standing there? You haven't been watching me, have you? No, I misspoke. Did I say painting? I meant to say,
You paint?
Well, I've thought for a while that it might be nice to paint the scenery here. The contours of that tree, set against the stark shapes of the faraway peaks. Of course, I only paint after I've finished my chores. I'd never put my art before my responsibilities. My studies are paramount. I shall always uphold my duties as a student of the Officers' Academy. Whereas art is a hobby of mine, you might say. Everyone has hobbies, right? I'm sure you have one.
No. Oh, none.
Oh, well, perhaps it's different for you, Professor. But it's perfectly normal for people to have hobbies. Reading, for instance, or fishing, or taking midday naps. For me, it's making art. Hobbies are healthy. They're a good way of relieving stress. You might consider taking up a hobby, Professor. Anything to clear your mind. Think about it. It's much easier to focus if you're feeling refreshed. There isn't a rule against hobbies, is there? If you tell me to stop, I'll stop. I shall never again put brush to canvas.
Paint as much as you like.
Really? It's okay for me to paint? Well, I mean, if you're sure. But really, it's nothing more than a little diversion, a frivolous pastime. I think I ought to go back to my quarters now, if it's all the same to you.
So we got a C with Ignaz. So I believe that does lower his requirements a little bit. I know if we can get a B for him, I think it lowers it even more and has a chance of him joining our class automatically.
Right.
Let's go see how Lysithia is doing.
Honestly, what do they all take me for? I'm fine. Perfectly and completely fine. It's hardly different from daytime. I'm not scared. Ah! Ghost! Hang on. Professor? Is that you? Oh, well, good evening!
Where are you headed?
Oh, I left something in the dining hall, so I'm on my way to fetch it. But you don't need to come with me or anything like that. I'm fine on my own, really.
I wasn't planning on it.
You weren't? Oh, apologies for making an assumption. truth is, everyone I come across asks if I'd like some company. They all seem to think I'll be scared wandering alone at night. So rude and presumptuous, you know. I'm perfectly capable of being on my own.
Of course, good evening then.
Hey, Professor, wait! Well, I thought it might be nice to walk and talk together to the dining hall, shall we? To be abundantly clear, this has nothing to do with my non-existent fear of ghosts.
I'll be happy to.
Oh, you must be bored. Fantastic then. Do you mind, filling the void with some chatter? Some find silence to be a bit unsettling after all.
What would you have me say?
Okay, I confess, I am scared of ghosts. The monastery is unnerving to me at night. So, can we talk about something, please? Anything. I've noticed for quite some time now, you treat all your students equally, don't you? You've never treated me differently simply because I'm younger than the others. And I've always appreciated that.
You are younger?
Isn't it rather obvious? I'm roughly 2 to 3 years younger than the rest of the class. Have you just not been paying close enough attention to those you teach? That's poor form for a professor. Oh, there! I found what I was looking for. Well, I'd better be on my way now. Good night!
Professor!
Alright, so that's everyone I can speak to. Let's get to conversations with everybody else.
With this idea, I may be able to get the one up on Edelgard.
This again.
Hubert! I wish you would not sneak up on me like that.
Maybe you would be more perceptive if your mind were less burdened by sedition.
Sedition? Absurd. This is an important project.
Yes, I heard. A new way to prove how superior you are to Lady Edelgard. She is not your rival, Ferdinand. She is above you. A noble like you ought to know his place.
Anything is better than being a noble like you. Every time you open your mouth, it's Lady Edelgard this or Lady Edelgard that. Do you ever think for yourself? You follow her around like a pet. You spend all of your time fretting over her, and yet you never truly express an opinion of your own. Before you reprimand me, take a moment to consider your own failings.
Your nonsense is tiresome, so I hope this will be the last time I have to remind you. Lady Edelgard is the Imperial Princess. You are merely the Prime Minister's son.
Yes, I understand that. But my duty is to guide her, to give frank advice when she is on the wrong course of action. That is what I strive to do, always. Thus my devotion to surpass Edelgard, so that if she needs guidance, I will be prepared to give it. If you think it is tiresome to have a mind of your own, you will never be much of an advisor.
Does the river of filth pouring out of your mouth ever stop flowing? Your obsession with all things superficial is disgusting. It's no use. You're hopeless. I'll take my leave.
I have nothing more to say to you. Get out of here.
Yikes. Let's get to Caspar.
I'm not finished with you. I am Caspar! What's going on, Hubert? You need something?
I watched you training earlier. Pitiful display.
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean?
You yell before every move.
I know. I do it on purpose. It's how I get fired up. Is that a problem for you? You scared?
Stupid habit. If you value your life, you'll break it.
What are you talking about? It sounds like you might have a problem with me.
As a matter of fact, I do. If it was only your own idiotic life at stake, I wouldn't bother saying anything. But it's not. Your foolishness hurts everyone.
Ooh, you sure do love to hear yourself talk.
Suppose you were to shout on the battlefield as you did in your training today. It is very likely the enemy could anticipate your next move based on your insipid blather. And what if your allies are startled by your outburst and fumble with their weapons as a result? This is not to mention the obvious fact that you would utterly botch any covert operation.
You really think I'm that stupid? I only shout when it's completely necessary. I don't do it all the time.
Whatever habits you develop in training, you will reproduce on the battlefield. Combat is tense and frantic. You will default to your training whether you mean to or not.
Hey, why don't you just shut up about it? I can control myself.
That was interesting. Let's get to Lionheart now. So who does he have support? He has a support with Lysivia? Oh right, because I probably had them eat together at one point. I'm like, she's not in my army yet. How does he have a support with her?
Aha, Lysithia. It's wrong to tease, yet I can hardly help myself. I know a secret. Your secret, in fact.
I think you mean a baseless rumor. Why are you wasting your time? And mine, for that matter.
Well, it's a secret that could completely overturn what is considered common knowledge in Crest research.
Shut your mouth! Just... Let's go talk somewhere other than here. Okay, where did you hear about it?
There was a sort of accident in Professor Hanneman's room.
I should have figured. You haven't told anyone, have you?
Of course not. If someone else were to learn you have 2 crests, I might lose you as a test subject.
Please stop talking so loudly. So what if I have 2 crests? If you insist on speaking of it, please do so quietly.
My intuition was correct. You do have 2 crests.
Wait, what? Did you just trick me?
Trick is such a strong word. I think of it as testing a hypothesis. The truth is, I simply made an educated guess.
Well, now that I've confirmed it for you, there's not much I can do.
I disagree. For example, you could tell me if you were born with them, or is the source magical? What does it feel like to use both crests at the same time? Is it pleasant, painful, euphoric?
Enough is enough! I am done talking about this. As though I'd speak of this to the likes of you.
I understand her desire for privacy, but to refuse my request for knowledge? It's rude.
Fun. So yeah, Lysivia has 2 crests. If we can get her in our army, we'll find out more about it. So Bernadetta... Ah, yes, you have one with Yuri. I love the conversations between her and Yuri.
Is that Yuri? I gotta evaporate. Maybe if I just curl into a ball, I'll pass as a boulder. Or a pebble.
Hey, Bernadetta.
You can see me?
Clearly. You're a tricky one. Always trying to hide when I'm around.
Sorry. Please forgive me.
If you want forgiveness, then explain yourself. But make it quick. You always ramble on.
Well, when I was little, my mother and father, they...
You've got to be kidding. Cut to the chase, please.
You remind me of one of my old friends.
Oh, come now. Whoever this friend of yours is can't possibly compare to me.
I'm telling the truth.
All right. What was this friend like then? The way you run and hide from me, they must have been a real piece of work.
That's not it at all. He was the assistant to the gardener at our estate. My friend was gentle, trustworthy, gorgeous, and, well, He was the only person who was ever nice to me. We used to run around the gardens playing together.
And why is it you keep running away from me?
That's... do I really have to say? We hardly even know each other.
You never have to do anything. But if you don't, you and I won't have a shot at knowing one another, and you'll carry on avoiding me forever.
But that's no good either. Okay, I'll tell you. The thing is, because of me, he got in trouble. After that, I never saw him again. You see, my father hated commoners, and when he found out I was spending a lot of time with one, well, he's probably dead now, and it's all my fault. It's because of me. He must have hated me.
That doesn't sound right to me. Why would you think all that? Nothing you did would make his death your fault. And hating you for something that isn't your fault is absolutely absurd. Delusional, even.
You're wrong! He'd definitely hate me if he knew. How would you know anyway? What, did you know my friend or something?
In a manner. Right. So, remember back when you were a kid? You tripped while holding some gardening shears, and your friend got cut pretty badly.
Oh yeah, I remember. But how did you know about that?
If I bore you any ill will, it would have only been for cutting my face with those damn shears.
Cutting your face? Shears? But there's no way!
But there is. That friend? That was me, Bernadetta. Anyway, I'm glad I finally got to hear how you felt about all of that. Let's spend time together later and chat about the good old days. Get to know each other again.
But how did... But he... But...
I love some of these supports, so the last one should be Dorothea and Yuri.
It's time I fessed up, Yurikins. I saw the whole thing.
What was it you think you saw?
It looked like you were singing to the children in the alley out back. And may I say, you were fantastic. Your performance hit me right in the heart. That was a song from Mittelfrank's Imperial Capital show, right? Ah, the good old days. You must have come back night after night if you remember it that well.
Perhaps a few times. I remember well how you looked upon that stage. You were the talk of the capital among all the nobles. Unsurpassable? Yes, that was it. It's hard to believe I'd run into that unsurpassable songstress in a place like this. Luck is on my side, as ever.
I couldn't convince you to sing tenor yourself, You're talented enough for it.
What are you getting at? Is this an invitation from the mystical songstress herself?
Male virtuosos are hard to come by. Would-be divas are a dime a dozen, but men? Not so much. And they have to be talented. As good as I am, which is very talented indeed. I think you have what it takes. If you're interested, I can...
Sorry, but no. No way in hell am I ever doing that.
Goodness. You could have stopped at no.
I can't think of anything more wretched than getting up on a stage to sing in front of a bunch of people.
You didn't seem to mind singing for those children.
The little ones weren't feeling well and couldn't sleep, so I sang them a lullaby to help. That's a far cry from standing on the same stage as you have, with all of those stuffy nobles staring at me. Truthfully, I'm not brave enough for it.
Rein it in, Yurikins. It's the opera, not the battlefield. This isn't a life-or-death situation.
Fair enough. Sometimes I forget what's a real threat and what isn't. But I must ask you to never bring up singing again. Not to me. Not if you want to keep things amicable between us.
How can someone that good at singing hate it so much?
Okay, so that's all the supports. I think before we end the week, I will ask Ash for mission assistance just in case I don't get an opportunity to come back to the to explore the monastery. So where are you?
What's going on?
Yes.
She's going to help. Actually, do you have school sorcery? Yeah, and you definitely not have the elegant hair clip. So let's finish exploring. This week's intuition is about to begin. Choose your method of instruction. Group task. What group task will we set up? May not. Okay, I'm surprised Bernadetta is good at weeding. Honestly, wasn't expecting that. Ferdinand. Armor a bit.
Never underestimate a noble.
Praise you.
I am quite pleased. Never underestimate a noble.
Yuri, let's teach you, so let's focus everything into faith. Bolus, you're the same.
Brings back memories. Couldn't have done it alone.
He's now a D+.
Ah, I finally get it. Who am I to turn down praise?
Let's give you some praise.
You make this stuff seem easy.
Dorothea.
I appreciate your coaching, Professor. I appreciate your coaching, Professor.
Ah!
Thanks for taking the time. Would you look at that?
She's now plus E.
I learn with my heart, not my head.
Bernadetta. Let's focus on your writing a little bit.
I got it right? Phew. Thanks. That's reassuring. I got it right? Phew. I did pretty well today.
One person left to train. To you, Linhart.
It is a long road to mastery. Not a total waste. Tell me, am I achieving anything yet?
Let's double check on the group tasks. I think I'll change you two to horses. Now let's begin the lecture.
Got a sec?
Fullblood has been around for a really long time. That means it must be it's just loaded with treasure. How do you think I should go about finding it? Read up on history for areas of clues. That sounds pretty reasonable. Investigate folklore from different regions. Hire someone to find it. The finder's fee. This also sounds like something Anna would do. Let's be honest. I'd say I'd probably investigate folklore.
Aha, that's it!
Professor.
Focus on swords and axes. Yes! Please focus on being a thief and assassin, because that's one of the things you're good at, Petra. People are calling me a thief, but I would never be doing bad things. It is because I am moving very quickly without my enemies noticing. This is why I be learning the bow and sword. I love that even I love even her text is like very simplified English. It's Anna's birthday.
Thanks a million.
It's Lawrence's birthday.
Okay, let's go.
Indeed. I will do my part. Amazing, no?
Perfect.
I'd never have learned this back in my room.
Ah, it's clear to me now.
It's starting to take shape.
Oh, I see now.
Heal.
For the next step.
You've learned curve shot,
Rest yet?
grounder,
Looking sharp, huh?
recover. Nice. Alright, so for next week we're gonna be going to battle. So we'll end things off here, and in the next episode, we'll probably do a few battles. If you enjoyed this episode, do like the videos, it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts of this episode, and share the video so more people can discover my content and help the channel grow. And I'll see you all next time. Later.